Welcome to Balance, Build and Bloom, a 21-day strength journey where we're not just about building physical strength, but we're also nourishing our bodies and minds to truly flourish. Each day I'm going to be guiding you through a targeted workout designed for all levels, followed by a practical nutrition tip to complement your fitness journey. Together we're going to be creating lasting habits for a balanced, healthy life. So, if you're ready to transform both inside and outside, let's get started with today's core session. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ease ourselves in. We're just going to work on some pelvic tilts. So I'm going to stand to the side so that you can see what I'm doing. All I want you to do is imagine that your pelvis, the bowl of your pelvis, is essentially full of water. And what you're going to do is just use a small movement to just dip your pelvis forward so all the water would gush out of the front and it's much higher at the back. And then dip back. So again, all of that water would flow out of the back and it would be higher at the front. And I just want you to tip and tip. So just working through, it's a really small little movement, so you're not going to be over exaggerating that movement. I just want you to tip forwards and back and then find that middle ground where you would have the bowl of your pelvis as if it was full of water. No water would be leaving either the front or the back. And that is where we're going to aim to hold into throughout this whole workout today. So keeping that pelvis really, really nice and neutral. So I talk about that a lot. That's how you're going to find your neutral pelvis when you're standing up and really engaging the tummy muscles around that pelvis. So just tilt forwards and back until you find that middle ground. And when you do, we're going to start with something a little more challenging, not a lot more challenging, but just holding into that midsection there. Bring the arms out and we're going to circle round. So aim to keep that pelvis really, really neutral now, holding into the tummy muscles, all of those core muscles that are supporting your hips, your spine, your ribs. And we're just circling those arms, small little circles, and change the direction. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to hold in here, trying to work on getting those shoulder blades just a little closer together as well as we're working through. Good job. 2, 1. Well done. So just let the arms shake out and we're going to go into some standing marches now. So we're just going to again keep that pelvis really, really nice and neutral, and we're going to raise up. If you can manage to do the opposite hand and the opposite knee, then please do. But thinking again about that pelvis, keeping in a nice neutral position, so you're not rocking too far forwards and backwards and side to side. You're really thinking about where you're pushing those feet into the ground, maintaining your stability, your strength, that control. Well done. So we're not worried about pace here. In fact, anywhere through this session today, we're not concerned with pace. We're concerned with precise movements and control all the way through. So are you putting your feet where you want to put them, or is the movement dictating where your feet are landing? You want to have it so that you are dictating everything that you do. It's purposeful. Well done, and take a rest. Good job. Bring the feet a little wider now. And what we're going to do is we're going to sweep around. So we're going to add a little bit of a bending movement here, sweeping with the hands, bringing the hands all the way up, reaching as high as you can with the fingertips, and then back round. So round, up, nice and high, back down, nice and high. Now, I'm not going through a full range of a squat here, but if you'd like to, then you absolutely can. I've also just turned my toes out here. This is a really good thing you can do to protect the knees if you have any sort of knee pain, knee issues, and a conventional squat with your toes facing forwards is uncomfortable. You can try with the toes facing out instead. That's usually quite a good way to just take a little bit of pressure off those knees, making sure you're really stretching up all the way through the fingertips, and take a little rest. We're going to do that exercise again. So just work on your range if you're comfortable with that. Really working on pushing the bottom back, keeping the back straight, the chest open, and think about those tummy muscles nice and tight. Okay, ready to go. 2, 1, let's do it. So sweeping round, pushing up, feel the stretch. Round, up, feel that stretch all through the tummy muscles as soon as you reach your fingertips high up. Imagine you're brushing the floor and brushing the ceiling. Fingertip touch to the floor and the ceiling. You don't have to get to the floor or the ceiling, but just really reaching through. That's what we're working on here. Round and up, and even round to the sides. Now start to imagine that you're brushing the walls on either side of you. Round, down, all the way up, and take your rest. Very good, well done. The next thing we're gonna do, we're staying up on our feet, is we're gonna do some side bends. So bring your feet nice and wide, wider than shoulders or around about shoulder width. And you're gonna slide your hand down the outside of your leg, not in front, not behind, right down the outside, and bringing the other hand up as you come down. Now, if that's a little too much, bringing the hand up, bring the fingertips onto temples. And if that's a little bit too much, then bring the hand down to the waist. Okay, so you've got 3 different levels of what to do with the non-working hand. And again, just holding in to your tummy muscles here. The hips are facing forwards all the time. So I'm not twisting through those hips. We're going down to the side, so working through the spine. Not thinking about the pelvis changing direction here. And really lengthening and shortening through this side here. Well done. Take a rest. We're going to switch sides and go to the other side. So we're going to be really focusing as I'm sliding my hand down on the other side here is lengthening and then shortening. And that's what's pulling us up and down. It's not your other arm that's pulling you up or down. Ready? Let's go. So either a hand up here onto the temple or onto the waist as we're going up and down, really thinking about strong, purposeful movements, elongating and then contracting through this side here. Good. And making sure to breathe all the way through. When we're working on core control, we often talk about holding in our muscles. We're not holding our breath. That's really, really important to note. We're not holding our breath at any time. And take your rest. Good job. We're going to come back to the exercise, but before we do, we're going to do some standing bicycle crunches, which I adore. I love this exercise. It's so good at working that cross body and also getting into the back as well. So fingertips onto temples for this one. And let's try and touch the opposite knee with the opposite elbow. Okay, nice and controlled. Foot goes back onto the mat, exactly where I want it to each time. And now we're working on balance, as well as on our precision and our coordination. All really key parts of our core control here. Now, you do not have to get your elbow to your knee. If you've done any of my other workouts, you would have heard me say that. It's the intention. It's the movement, that cross body, that's what we're after. There are no additional prizes for getting there. Getting the elbow and knee to meet. Take a rest, well done. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna go back to those side bends. So take your feet nice and wide, around about shoulder or a little wider. And remember, you've got the different options with your hand where you want to be, but coming down to the side and keeping the pelvis facing forwards. Ready? Let's go. So down and up. And if you found this quite easy last time, you can always add a little hand weight here. But if you're doing that, if you're finding it easy and you've got your hand on your hip here, first of all, just try with the fingertips up to the temple or the hand up to the ceiling with the eye gaze facing forwards, and you'll see that just changes the complexion of this exercise just a little bit. And you might find that that's enough of a challenge for now. And if you want to, you can add a hand weight, but staying down the side of your leg. Take a rest. Well done. Shake it out. We're going to go to the other side in just over 10 seconds. Okay, so just roll those shoulders. Get yourself ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's go down to the side and back up. So we are at the very beginning of our journey on this 21-day And I've called it a 21-day journey to build strength because I feel like when we do these series together, we do go on a journey, don't we? So please, please, please do make sure that you give me a little comment, say hi, let me know that you're doing this workout, whether you're doing it as it's released or if you're doing it in 10 years' time. Let me know. I'm interested. I want to know. I want to be able to support you as you're going through. 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. Very well done. We're going to go back to that standing bicycle crunch. Again, today we're really working on that activating the core, really switching those muscles on, knowing that the brain knows what to do when we're asking it to do something. And when we're telling our body to do something, moving our muscles, let's go, in a specific way, in a controlled, precise, measured way, your brain will know what to do. And if it doesn't yet, it will do. Just give it some reinforcement, keep practicing, and then you will get there. Good. Well done. Nice and precise. Nice and slow. We will get to exercises later on in this program where you don't have to be so slow. But day 1 is all about building up from the ground. And if you've done any of my other series, you'll know that's the same. You don't start all guns blazing, and take a rest. Very well done. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a wall sit. So you need to have a wall, or in my case a window, that you are going to lean against, and you're going to pretend that you have a chair here. You're going to sit in your imaginary throne. So I'm going to sit with my knees around about 90 degrees. Okay, around about 90 degrees here. Now you can have yourself raised up so there's less of a 90 degree, or you can sit down even further if you want to, but I would suggest 90 degrees is probably where you want to be if you want to make this challenging. Toes are facing forwards, feet are pushed into the ground, and I've got my shoulders and my head pushed back into the wall. Now, this is challenging. It's super challenging. You're using your core for stability here, but obviously it's really tight on the legs. So if you've had enough at any point during this, then you can get up, move around. Okay, we are doing 2 of these, so you're going to get 2 chances. Ready? Take a rest. Well done. Okay, so if you can only manage that for 10 seconds, that's okay. That's where you are. That's absolutely fine. I celebrate you for doing 10 seconds of it. If you can manage it for half the time or maybe 30 seconds, then just do it for that time. And then eventually you will build up. We're going to go again. Let's do this. So I'm pushing into my heels, and I'm pushing my shoulders back against the wall. And I'm feeling it into my quads here, but I'm using my body to keep me really upright. And those muscles here, all the muscles in my core, to keep me strong and straight and stable. Okay, so that's why I've included this one, because it's the stability that we're looking for as well as the work in the legs. Breathing it through, not holding your breath. Well done. And if you're finding your legs a little shaky, don't worry, it's all right. 2, 1, take a rest. Very good. Well done if you manage that one. It's really, really tough. But of course, you can make that less difficult by coming up the wall. You don't have to have that 90-degree bend. Right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a plank or a bridge. I'm going to do mine with a chair, so I'm going to grab that now. Okay, so you'll need your chair. I'm going to just put that here, my nice stable surface, and we're going to hold in to our bridge position. So I've got my hips nice and neutral here. My head is neutral. I've got a nice long neck. Chin's away from chest, so I'm not down here. I'm not looking at my toes. I'm not all the way up here. And I'm holding tight into those tummy muscles. Again, thinking about the pelvis as a bowl. But in this case, rather than from a standing position, I'm imagining that on a diagonal axis. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in, stand up, shake it out. Now I'm holding that as a high plank or a bridge. If you prefer, if it hurts the wrist a little bit too much, then you can come into a forearm plank onto your chair or your raised surface. But I'm going to go again with this one into that high plank. Okay, so you have your different variations. Here we are. So when it comes to head positioning, Head and neck positioning, I try and keep the visual of ears in line with shoulders, so I know where my head is in space, so I know that I'm not drifting down here. Obviously your eye gaze is really key as well, so knowing where your eyes are. If you're looking up and out, then you're going to have your head tilted back. So even though there might not be anything nice to look at, just keep that eye gaze forward. It's only 40 seconds. Well done. 3, 2, 1. Amazing job. Very good. We are going to do another exercise onto the chair, and it's going to be a chair mountain climber. Now, I've obviously got the variations that you can do onto the mat. You don't have to do them onto the chair. If you're already more advanced and you can do them down onto the mat, then please go ahead. Do what you want to, do the level that you have, but we are going to be stepping in and doing our chair mountain climber. So all I'm doing here is I'm drawing the knees in towards my chest. Okay, so this is a full body exercise. We're using it here for stability, and we're also working our ab muscles. So I'm trying to keep my hips nice and still. It's working the muscles in my upper body as well. So if you find that your shoulders are feeling it, or your wrists, your arms, that's because you're supporting your body weight. And take a rest. So if it is feeling into your little wrists a little bit too much, then just give them a little bit of mobility. Put the backs of your hands together, palms together, give them a little stretch out. We are doing one more of these. And if you want to just get that heart rate up just a little bit, then you can go a little bit faster on this one. Just make sure that that pelvis stays nice and neutral, so you're not wiggling about, and that your raised surface, if you're using one, like I am, is really stable. Okay, so I don't want any accidents. I don't want anyone messaging me saying they've had an accident because they went on a chair and it zoomed across the room. Okay, your safety is your priority. So make sure you look after yourself. Don't take any risks. So just keep bringing those knees in. Really working into the abs now if you can't feel that already. 2, 1. Very good. Okay. The last little thing we're going to do before we do a little cool down is we are going to do a bit of a balance and coordination exercise. So I'm going to put my hands onto my hips and I'm going to bring my knee up with a nice flat foot, bring it down and then bring it out to the side. So we're going to come up and out. Now, luckily I've already got my chair here. What I can do if I'm struggling on my balance is I can just hold onto that chair and out, up and out. What I'm aiming to do here is keep my upper body as straight and strong and still as possible, okay? And as you get more and more confident, you can just move to a one finger touch onto your chair or your wall, and then eventually not at all, and take a rest. Well done. So if you do need to use your chair for stability, then use it. That's absolutely fine. Don't overly rely on it, but use it to get you started, improve your confidence. That's really, really important. Confidence is super important when it comes to exercise. Ready? We're going to go on the other side. Knee comes up, foot is flat, come back down and out. So up, down, out to the side, up and down, out to the side. Now your range of movement is exactly that. It's yours. So you may be able to get your leg all the way up, or you may be able to only get your leg out to about here. That's totally fine. It's your movement, it's your body, so you do what's right for you. There's no comparison here. There's never any judgment here. It's just about acknowledging good old-fashioned hard work. 2, 1, take your rest. Well done. We're going to do one more on each side. We're going to do a teeny tiny little stretch for a cool down. I will also link a cool down workout in the end of this video as well, so you can do that if you need to. But don't go anywhere at the end of this workout, because we will be doing our little nutrition tip for the day. So that's how it's going to go for this plan. A little bit different to the plans that I've done before. So this plan is going to give you a workout and then a tiny little nutrition tip takeaway at the end. So after 21 days, you'll have 21 little tips to take with you to help you to build your healthy life so you can flourish, nourish and flourish. Good job. Well done. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Little rest here and then we're going to go to the other side. So really working on that balance. So your upper body stays really nice and strong. Imagine that you are clamped in somewhere here. You can't move in your upper body. It's just the hips down that you can move from. Obviously there will be a little bit of movement, but really trying to keep that in mind as you're moving so that you know that you're using the right muscles. So your stability muscles, everything in your trunk here is keeping you nice and strong and straight and stable. Good job. Now you can touch down onto the mat each time if you want a little touch, or you can freestyle and you can go with no touch. If you want to go a little bit harder, it makes that balance element a little bit more difficult. But of course, if you're working with your chair, you can build up to it and take a rest. Okay, last little thing we're going to do is we're just going to have a little stretch out before we talk nutrition. And I want you to just have your feet around about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit narrower. And what I want you to do is working on that hip tilt. I just want you to push the hips back and I want you to hinge forwards. So you're just going to pull down the back of the legs there. Nice straight back. And then bring the arms out to the side and just go down a little further, pulling through the back and up. And I want you to do something similar. So bring the chin down to the chest, and this time we're going to roll forwards with a bent back. So we're rounding out the back, having the hands hang down. So rounding out now, feeling the stretch further down into the legs. Coming up nice and slowly, working through each vertebrae of the spine as we do. Shoulder roll at the top, and then one more. So we're going to stretch the arms out straight this time, and just tip forwards with a nice straight back. Bring those arms up, so they're not down here. You've got them nice up. Nice straight line across the shoulders, feeling that into the lower back, down through the back of the legs, coming up, and finally chin back down to chest, rolling down, rounding out the back, hanging down. If you want to get to the floor, you can. You're just going to bend the knees if you need to. Otherwise, you can just hang, breathing all the time. And then work your way back up to a standing position. Okay, we are done with the workout, but this session is not over. Join me in just a second where we are going to talk nutrition, and today we are talking about hydration. Welcome to this Hydration for Health little segment. Today I'm going to be diving into why water is your best friend, especially when you're active. So staying hydrated is crucial for maintaining optimum health and enhancing your workout performance. Did you know, for example, that your body is about 60 to 70% water, which means it's essential for nearly every single bodily function, including regulating your temperature, transporting nutrients, and helping to keep your organs functioning properly, including your brain. When you exercise, you lose water through sweat. I'm sure you knew that already, and it's vital to make sure that you replenish that water that you lose through exercise. Otherwise, you can get dehydrated, which can lead to increased fatigue, muscle cramps, and really can impact your performance with your workouts and also your brain function. So here's your takeaway. Aim to drink around 8 glasses or 2 liters of water a day, and hydrate before, during, and after your workouts. An easy tip is to drink a glass of water when you wake up, and then keep your water bottle with you all day and actually drink from it. Remember, by the time you feel thirsty, you're probably already starting to dehydrate, so keep sipping regularly. Let's keep our bodies well hydrated. Let's see the difference and feel the difference in your overall health and your workout performance. Join me tomorrow for our next workout. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you then. Take care. Bye.